as qualified as many to speak in this debate. What I would like to do is to remind those who want to look into it further they should read the book Peace with Honour by Alan Alexander Milne in 1934, where A. A. Milne, who had served continuously in the First War, wrote the reason why war should become unacceptable. He argued for pacifism. In 1940, he wrote a book called War with Honour after he had rejoined and explained what's gone wrong. In the middle of his book on Peace with Honour, written in 1934, he imagined a situation where Germany attacks the United Kingdom in 1940. He asked what would happen if Russia said they would come and join in on our side, but would set various conditions. I think we have to understand that people have been thinking about these issues rather more deeply than some of the remarks I think we heard from the Scottish National Party. But I want to leave them on one side and move on to the other great person who could deal with the constitutional, the policy and the moral principles of nuclear deterrence, who was Sir Michael Quinlan, who was Permanent Secretary at the Department of Employment when I served there as a junior minister. He then moved back to the Ministry of Defence, which is his real home. And both in his time working for the government, before he got moved to the Treasury, in 1980 or 81, he wrote some words which were not known to be his at the time. Our task now is to devise a system for living in peace and freedom by ensuring that nuclear weapons are never used either to destroy or to blackmail. I don't think anyone has yet made the serious case that our abolition of the continuous at sea deterrence could actually do much to reduce the possibility of blackmail or the risk of destruction. I give way to the Honourable Lady.
I do thank the Honourable Gentleman for giving way. Could I remind the House just about the Budapest Memorandum? Ukraine gave up its nuclear capability of 1,700 warheads, large number of capabilities. And in return, Russia, US and the UK agreed to secure its stability and safety. How
the leader of the NATO parliamentary delegation has made the point better than I could, and I'm grateful to her for doing that. I occasionally speculate what would have happened if not Mr. Putin, but his predecessor, had become president of Russia. If Nikolai Kovalov had become president, things might not be so rough now, and they wouldn't have been so rough for the Ukraine. But that's not the issue. We have to prepare for whatever happens in any major country around the world. And we have to remember that one of the reasons why we had our independent deterrent was to give a second place of decision-making, that people couldn't just rely on the Americans being prepared to respond, but that we might if we had to. I hope we never do have to. I commend to the people who want to be real students or policy operators in this field to get the collected correspondence of Sir Michael Quinlan, to actually go through the essays or the chapters in the book edited by Francis Bridger in 1983, to which Michael contributed a chapter. It followed on from the work of the Catholic Bishops' Conference in the United States, and I think all of them have guidance for us now. It doesn't say what we have to do in the future, but it gives us the reason of where we've been in the last 50 years, and I join with others in paying tribute to the submariners and to the people in the dockyards and the like who've kept the deterrence going. One of the proudest times of my life was when I gave a dinner in 2003, 2 years before the 200th anniversary of Nelson's death at Trafalgar, where I sat down with 2 Marine generals and 38 admirals. Those admirals were there representing the people of all ranks who had served and all the people who were civilian contractors who had helped. We thank them.
O'Hara. Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. And I'd like to start by saying that, as a Member of Parliament for Argyll and Bute,